man, it's time to get going. I don't think I want to let you see me. I think I'm just going to stay behind an avatar this whole time. But it's not easy being green, right? That's what Kermit taught us. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get things started. We're right over here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is December 11th, 2025. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? I'm getting in the spirit of the holiday season. What do you think? How did we do there? We are, of course, raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital through the end of December. Every little donation can help, and we crossed our first milestone, and you chose to color my beard green yesterday during our stream. That was the vote winner, so we've got the lovely mint green beard we're sporting today. I feel like the Grinch. I don't know. It is Grinchy green. And here's the thing. I have a meeting this afternoon that I need to sit in on, and I'm going to have a green beard for that. So that's a thing. I don't know. Right, Amal? Right? Look at that. I will happily color my beard green, do silly things that folks enjoy, that are entertaining, to help raise some money for the kids at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Right up there. There's details about that down below on the Twitch channel. You can run I'll run the St. Jude command, and we'll get information about the right? Isn't that the command, St. Jude? What the heck? I get this. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's SJ Donate is what it is. All right, there we go. And there's information if you'd like to contribute. I've got incentives there that for all kinds of different things and fun milestones that we have ahead of us. And we're finishing setting up what's going to be some of the low donation incentives for folks that only have a couple bucks to donate. You'll be able to troll our project and get help from the AI code chaos monkey that we've been writing, that will insert and put some generally unfriendly code into our application. Nothing that breaks it, but things that are unfriendly and a little bit silly. Let me head over to chat and welcome everybody in here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. You can see the chat right over here. Big thanks to everybody that tuned in and joined us right from the get-go. Patty Boy is here from Glasgow. How you doing there? Ergenrod, good morning. Chris Funk, yes, you are here from the start. Hey, Sam, how you doing there? The user group was a great time last night. Fantastic to get to spend time with Carl and Richard. You're going to get that .NET Rocks episode that we recorded last night. You're going to have that published. It's literally like in the next 2 weeks. That was episode 1981 that we recorded last night. And it's literally next week. You're going to get that episode coming out. So stay tuned. Wednesday next week on .netrocks.com. You'll be able to get that. Be able to download that episode and hear our discussion about the future of development using AI. So it was a lot of fun. Got to see Richard and Paul Thurrott from Windows Weekly. They recorded Windows Weekly from our local Microsoft office there. We had a fantastic time hanging out with Paul as well, catching up on all the things that are going on in tech. So it was a great discussion. Always great to see those folks, like I said. So how you doing there, Heck Radar? Good. You like the green, Patty? Right? So good morning. How you doing there, Amal? Yeah, thank you for the sign in there. Love Train's awesome. Hello. Good to see you over there on YouTube. It is a green color indeed. So And am I still working on a Discord bot for Gunner? I am. I need to get back into that. Clearly, there's one or two other things that have come up, and I have actually some support coming in from our friends at Progress to help out with that. So we will continue working through that. Kudos on the hat. What hat? What hat? I've got my Atari hat. Yeah. So it's still early. I'm not sure if I want to bring this up just yet. A mystery started yesterday, and I think somebody in this chat has something to do with this mystery. And I'm going to share this. Let me get some music playing in the background here, and we'll talk a little bit about this. I'm going to go to the Stream Beats EDM playlist here today. Find something that's fun, a little bit upbeat to go through. Go ahead, take a picture. Check it out. There's the hat. Let me see. Let's start here. This is called Bright Times. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Use it anywhere you like. It's streambeats.com. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators. Yeah.
Atari logo hat has been identified with high confidence.
That's right. You better believe it. A big thanks to Harris and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. It didn't put the text up. You didn't put text up there, Charlie. But yes, we are going to be working more on the Discord bot. And we're probably going to be doing it on Tuesday next week again. But between now and then, we've got some more fun to have. So, let's see, what else did I want to talk about? So we've got Greenbeard happening. We're going to work on getting the last bits of the Chaos Monkey integrated and working with the rest of the stream, and then we'll roll that out. And then we'll dive back into CodeMedic today. So, hey, Lundo Spark, good to see you. Talking to some folks last night, I did hear, and I've heard from some folks that do really enjoy listening to the streams, and having a great time with us. And it's always okay. You're always welcome to not chime in. You don't have to chat during these live streams. Of course, if you do, you're gonna hopefully have some good interactions, and we'll do some fun things together as well when you do drop into chat. Look at that, my blue eyes are kind of reflecting funny off of the blue light over here. Let me head over to the code, and we will start getting in and talking about the Chaos Monkey. We do love our lurker friends. That's right, Lundo Spark. Yeah, see? Now, I do have to record a summary video for yesterday. I have to record one of those, and I think I'm overdue for... Yeah, I'll get a summary video for yesterday recorded and published. So, how hard was it to dye the beard? So I have a spray that I use. It's a little spray that comes in a can, and it comes in fantastic colors that we drop in there and have a great time with. So green, purple, pink, blue. I even have rose gold, but rose gold doesn't actually like I typically have brown hair before I went gray. So putting in the rose gold doesn't actually have the rose gold sparkle that you think of when you look at somebody's phone. You know what I mean? So that's totally a thing. All right, let's dive in here. Right? Just gonna double check on one thing real quick. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Good. So we started working on this. I call it a Chaos Monkey. Oh, I should have brought up the map. Hang on. Go get the map, Fritz. Oh my gosh, Warm Peas with the resub.
Warm Peas just resubscribed for 26 months. 26 months with friends.
Yeah.
Cheers to another 26.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate more than 2 years with us. Warm Peas, thank you so much for that support. Really appreciate that. So the map is running. It's out there, and you can, of course, drop in your drop a greeting with your location in chat, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch, and just like Chris Funk did there, it will plot that location. You don't have to give an exact location, but it will plot that location and zoom in. Yeah, there you go. See, you can just say Germany, right? And there we go. So, yeah, very cool. So, and is it going to grab Worcester, UK? I don't know. So there's a queue that it goes through on these, and when there's one that it's kind of unsure about, it kind of hangs. And then we wait before it goes and picks up and does more of them. And I don't mind the hanging there while it goes and retries, but part of me would like it if it didn't just hang, but it went and grabbed the next ones if there were others available, and try that while it's on the delay. So there we go. There's Las Vegas. It grabbed Pueblo. There we go. Where did it go? This one. And I am looking for... I think I want to put... this Spotify. Just when it pops up, pop it over the St. Jude overlay. There we go. All right. Moving on. Like, I'm willing... Right. No, it did get Worcester. Worcester. There you go. Moving on. So we were working on the Chaos Monkey over here. Oh, really? Fine. And the code, of course, is available on GitHub. And we're going to do the last little bits here for configuration and to roll it in and pivot back to CodeMedic, the project we've been working on for the past, week or two. And dive in and have a little bit more fun on that. So, there's an agent out here that we've configured. It's right there, the Chaos Monkey agent. So when a donation event occurs, a webhook fires, it's going to... That webhook is going to create an issue and is going to label it chaos. The agent is going to apply the requested mutation, creating a pull request. And then I will review and merge that pull request during stream. So there are instructions that it will receive. Add silly log lines to unit test, rename test to something ridiculous, insert goofy placeholder tests, introduce a random sleep in a unit test. Because what isn't more frustrating for us as developers than to run your unit tests and all of a sudden one of them takes like 15 seconds? Right? Like, what happened over there? No, it's the Chaos Monkey. Some code mutation, chaos, change a variable name to a funny word, add a comment with a joke in the code, make something nullable that shouldn't be, introduce a log statement with meme reference, change a method name to a pun. Some do's and don'ts. Don't, of course, there are some things in here to don't use inappropriate language or offensive content. We want this to be fun, not insulting, angry. Now, we've been going through and having fun building a Chaos Monkey agent. And this is fun, this is silly, but what I want you to pick up and learn from this is while we're doing something funny here, you can do this with your code to implement standards. You can do this with your code, your projects, to go through and enhance and grow them and ensure that unit tests are properly added, to ensure that integration tests are generated at commit time that might be missing from your project, right? We're doing funny things here to troll, but you can absolutely turn this around and use these same techniques we're using to mess up our code and do something really productive that's going to enhance the way that you build code, to make sure that you write code, your team generates code that is more reliable, has higher quality, right? Scales better, because you'll be able to do those analyses in your code by sending comments like this into an agent and having it apply them to your project. We're turning it around and doing something silly and stupid, because that's what I do. You've missed CodeMedic. What's it about? CodeMedic, when we get back over there, it is freely available, and I need to put together a CodeMedic website and put together a link over here. I'm not going to protect the branch just yet. CodeMedic is a .NET repository health analysis tool. It's a CLI that's going to look at your projects in a specific folder and start reporting various health metrics about it. We've implemented some vulnerability checking by going out to some of the vulnerability reporting places on NuGet.org. We've done some checking to see if there's new versions of packages out there, and also if a package license changes. I know that's something that's been happening a bit recently with various projects, various open source projects that have reached a size, a support level where they need to get a little bit of help. And because the maintainers of open source projects are not getting the coding assistance and insight that they need to maintain a project that reaches a certain amount of community acceptance and growth and downloads and features, they need to start charging money so they can focus more time on it, because that's a project that we as a technical community depend on. And there are some organizations that do not like that. I would say those organizations are not following the spirit of open source, and they're looking at open source projects as a way to get free work, which is slightly less than ethical. You can do that, but it's not the most ethical thing. Contributing $100 to a project a month that you depend on, that is core to your organization's business, contributing $50, $100 a month. That's so much less expensive than a subscription to a service, than to buying a product and paying, an annual licensing fee. $1,200 to a decent sized enterprise. That's another license to a Rider or Visual Studio set of tools. That's another set of tools, another set of services that you're running on a cloud service for a month. It's a pizza lunch for your team on a Friday. That's not a lot of money when you talk about organizations of that size. And to ask a billion-dollar company, hey, why don't you throw a couple bucks back for some of those organizations, I don't think is out of line. It is unfortunate that some of them think that, yeah, they can get away with free service that folks are contributing. Yeah. But for, yeah, a few quid a month, Lundo Spark says, yeah, you can buy a product, or you can help out the folks that are building the tools that you rely on. It's pocket change for large organizations. And I say that as an employee of Microsoft who contributes literally millions of dollars to Linux development. Open source gives away access for you to be able to use GitHub free for open source projects. You can get access to GitHub Copilot free. Now, there's limitations in those things you can do with those services, but it's not out of line. It's free. You get a lot you can do. Didn't they buy out Xamarin so they could open source it? They didn't buy it out so they can open source it. I wouldn't say that was the motive. Microsoft did buy Xamarin. It was folded into the .NET Core, .NET 6 versions of the framework, and it's now been rebranded as .NET MAUI. And that is something that happened, that the Xamarin now .NET MAUI tools are free and open source. Anybody can use them. So anybody can use them free as in beer. Free of charge. You are welcome to do whatever you would like. So let me show you a little bit more about the Chaos Monkey, and then we will dive in here. I just got the update to VS Code. So multi-agent orchestration was added. I'm not going to dive into that too much yet. Oh, and I've got more extensions to restart. All right, go restart the extensions again. All right. I like to start off when I'm working with a project like this. I like to start off. Yeah, give me. Nah, I don't want a window. I want it in the editor. There we go. And pull this over here. Bring you back over there. Now, I updated the chaos mapper a little bit here. This isn't the latest version. Stand by. What? Hang on. I might not have... Oh no. Is it in a branch over here? I don't have all the code that I was writing yesterday here. It's actually on my my laptop downstairs because I did a couple of updates here. Let me do this. I need to run downstairs and grab that laptop because there's a couple of good features in here I need to get added in. Let me step away for just a minute and go grab that laptop and bring it up. All right, I will be right back. Go ahead and log your locations here. We'll have them pop up on the map. I'm going to kick off a tour while I step away. Hey, there we go. Ergenrod and Aris, hello, welcome. Yep, I stepped away and I was working on the Chaos Monkey downstairs on my micro laptop. Little 8-inch GPD laptop. And I forgot to push my changes. Bad Fritz. Bad Fritz. So let me get over here. It is a tiny, tiny keyboard. Yep, there it is. 6 changes. And I'm going to add those. I have no idea what I was doing, but I am just going to push that up. Oh, you. There we go. And I'll shut down that laptop. Hey, Surly Dev in Lancashire. Ice cream stick model, hello. Continuing that streak, well done. Come on. So, a couple ideas that came up yesterday that I want to drop out there. You got offered a job. Hey, that's terrific. Congratulations, Surly. Oh my goodness. Big congratulations to you. We got to celebrate that. Right? Yes, indeed. So good. There's Svekos. So let me bring this up now. Yesterday, a package arrived at my door. And I'm sure that it came from somebody in stream, one of our regular viewers. Because if there's something that right, there are traditions here. Oh my gosh, Surly Dev.
Surly Dev just resubscribed for 19 months.
Right there.
Enjoy my Christmas Prime.
If there's something that I enjoy is the traditions that I've kind of established year over year here on the channel. And I try to do Ubuntober. We were interrupted a number of times this year, and I wasn't really able to do too much of that. Maybe we'll come back and do a little bit of that, a theme month on that in January. But in the holiday season here in December, I like to do a reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It's a tradition in my family to read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, the night before Christmas. Hey, C# Titan, hello. And so I've brought that here to the live stream, and on my last stream before the Christmas holiday, I read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. But this is Twitch, and I can't leave just 'Twas the Night Before Christmas alone. I also read 'Twas the Night Before Die Hard. And yesterday, a package arrived with 'Twas the Night Before Die Hard. There was no note. But this is something that I've been reading and doing on stream for years. I know somebody out there. Somebody sent that. I appreciate it. I would have loved if you had included a gift note so that I know who sent it so I could thank you. So, you like the green beard? Yeah, I'm feeling Grinchy, if that's a thing. So, the Grinch is a furry. Well, yeah, he is furry. Let me bring up the dashboard over here because that's a very good question from C# Titan that I want to touch in. Oh, these are still questions from yesterday loaded up here. Let me clear these out. Yep. Okay, so, my gosh, that's even... Come on. Catching up here. My lord, there's a lot of questions. There's 60-some questions in the queue here that I didn't even look at yesterday. I got so focused on what we were doing. Raid targeting. There's the question about Discord. Dyeing my beard, yeah. Pellin!
Pellon_alt just resubscribed for 2 months. Polona 1 in your face.
Oh my goodness, we are on a golden Kappa train. I have never had this happen here on stream. Friends, for the next 3 minutes and 40 seconds, 3 minutes and 30 seconds here on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, this isn't a thing for you, but on Twitch, if you subscribe, you will get a golden Kappa. Right? Is that what it is? Golden Kappa. Contribute to earn this. No, you. If you subscribe, if you cheer during this hype train for 24 hours, you will get the golden Kappa emote. Right? So that's just the normal Kappa. So if you do cheer, I can't cheer in my own channel. You will get the, yeah, there it is, Master Rat. It looks just like that. Pellin should have the golden Kappa now. So, yes. Is that moss on my face? No, it is not. So, yeah, that is totally a thing. It's coming. It totally is coming. So look at that. Like, there we go. Eddie Dre with the gift sub.
Eddie just gifted 1 subs.
Right. So, let's do this. Let's do this because it is the holidays here. Right? Let me do that. Yep, that's fine. Let's nudge this along a little bit. Let's put 10 gift subs into the channel. To a bunch of folks that are here.
Wanglord a subscription. Sharp Fritz gifted a tier 1 sub to Wanglord.
We'll drop some of those for our friends.
Fritz gifted Obby the Bird.
Is it going to really read all of those?
Gifted a tier 1 sub to Obby the Bird.
Really?
Sharp Fritz gifted Spudula_ a subscription.
That's
Sharp
not how
Fritz
that's supposed to
gifted a
work.
tier 1 sub to Spudula_.
So, it's going to read through all of those.
Samueli 100 a subscription. Sharp Fritz gifted a tier 1 sub to Samueli 100.
That's right. Let's go.
Sharp Fritz gifted a J a subscription. Sharp Fritz gifted a tier 1 sub to a J.
Hey, thank you for the cheer, Chris.
Sharp
Code
Fritz
Purple?
gifted
Yeah.
Cody Purple 01 a subscription.
I'm gonna have to go through all these.
Sharp
You're
Fritz
supposed to
gifted a tier 1
read
sub
these
to
as a
Cody
group.
Purple 01.
And it's just gonna keep right on going.
Sharp Fritz gifted Fluff Weasel a subscription.
Fluff Weasel.
Sharp Fritz gifted a tier 1 sub to Fluff Weasel.
Yes, that's right. So.
Sharp Fritz gifted ZPI93 a
what is this?
subscription. Sharp Fritz gifted a tier 1 sub to ZPI93.
Unlockable tier 3 emotes.
Sharp Fritz
Okay.
gifted 503 a subscription.
That's
Sharp
right.
Fritz gifted a tier 1 sub to 503.
We have one more here. There it is.
Sharp
Right, good thing I
Fritz
didn't gift
gifted
100.
Toasted Tater Tot a subscription. Sharp Fritz gifted a tier 1 sub to Toasted Tater Tot.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I did. Thank you. That's what I did.
Sharp Fritz just gifted 10 subs.
Oh, mother. So, 3 minutes left in the Golden Kappa train. There's Chris Funk with the cheer.
Chris Funk 21 cheered 100.
Trapped in a loop. That's right. So, how you doing, Napalm? Good to see you. Hey, DGen1. Hello, we are on that Golden Kappa train. So, yeah. Someone hurry give 100? No, there's a couple hundreds. Thank you for those 200.
200.
Oh, you mean 100 subs? I don't think you're going to find anybody giving giving that much. What happened to my beard? Robert Tables is here. Hello, my friend. Yes, we hit our first goal on St. Jude, and we colored up the beard here. So we have 2 minutes left in the Golden Kappa train. Happened yesterday. Yep. So let me pull back out on the map. There we go. Friends that have shared their locations on the map showing up right up there. Yeah, Napalm dropping a pin for us on Pittsburgh. Now, I had just moved it, so it wasn't going to zoom in directly. How you doing there, Lazy Dev? So, we have just a little bit of work to finish the Coding Chaos Monkey, and then we'll jump in and update a little bit. Timbuktu. Yes, Timbuktu. Absolutely. We'll zoom in on that. Now, it should have pivoted and gone to Indianapolis. It should have, because I am sure it plotted Indianapolis. There you go. So, Bucharest? Did we get a Bucharest? Yeah. Yep. So, yes, every now and again it doesn't queue quite right when there's successive requests to do the navigation. 40 seconds left in the Golden Kappa train. So cheer, subscribe, and you will get a Golden Kappa at the end of it in 30 seconds if we don't complete level 3 here. That's okay. That's all right. I'm just happy that we got some friends in here. Robert Tables with a big cheer.
Robert
Thank
Tables
you so
cheered
much.
300.
Chris Funk with a cheer. Yeah. Almost there. 10 seconds to go. Would it be worth sticking
Chris
the request
Funk
in a service bus
21
queue?
cheered 100.
It's not the service bus. It's the queuing for the navigation, the JavaScript queue for the navigation on the screen is what it's hitting. There we are. There's the end of the train. Robert Tables with the gift subs.
Robert Tables
just missed it.
gifted 5 subs.
Oh, just missed it. So Airbnb Bacon. Thank you so
Robert
much.
Tables just resubscribed for 52 months.
Yeah,
Choo
52
choo.
months, my friend. Thank you. G-Bone, J-Subs, Johnny Torado, Erica Elysium, and Grumpy Hunter, congratulations. You got gift subscriptions. Yeah, absolutely. So I did not get the Golden Kappa. Really? No, it's showing here. It's not showing on my chat replay up here. My Twitch chat in OBS. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, look at the big... Oh, you did get the golden cap. There you go. Took a bit to refresh. Yeah. So, all right. We were working on, before the fun happened. You had no idea I was on Twitch? And I've got a green beard. Like, what a day to catch me on Twitch. Like that's a thing. We were working on, let me dive in here and I don't want to put in that pull request. I wanted to show you. Let's pull here, and I'm going to track origin, and I just called it working because I'm not very thoughtful on some of those things. So, yep, we've been raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We crossed our first goal of $100 yesterday, and chat voted on me to have a green beard. So that was the first little bit there. But Lundo Spark, we can come back and talk more about some of the interactions for how it queues and does those the tour as folks chime in with their locations here. Let me... C# Titan has a couple questions here. I want to make sure that I grab and touch on here. Let me start here. Noticed a lot of negativity on Twitter. People are saying beginners shouldn't learn .NET Blazor because there aren't any Blazor jobs available. They argue that it's all React, Angular, and Vue, and Blazor is only for advanced users who understand the technical and business trade-offs. What are my thoughts? Here's the deal. For .NET developers, Blazor is a fantastic UI framework. I don't care if you're a beginner, if you've been around the block for a while, it's a fantastic framework. The people on Twitter saying negative things about .NET is commonplace. That's how you get noticed on Twitter. You'll notice they also have blue checks because when you get noticed and people retweet and argue with you on Twitter, you get paid. This is a clickbait thing that they're doing. There are many enterprises, there are many governments that are using Blazor. It's outrage farming. Absolutely a great way to describe it, Robert Tables. And what you're going to see with folks that are using Blazor, the flexibility that those JavaScript frameworks tried to get couldn't deliver. The flexibility of being able to choose whether your code runs on server or in the browser with WebAssembly is extremely valuable for any website. I've developed, delivered, and published websites live on this channel that are built with Blazor, and nobody can tell the difference. It works fantastic. It's directly integrated. The whole reason folks went and started doing Node, it's directly integrated with the language, the technologies, the classes, the objects that you've already built. So if you've already got libraries and things that do great things for you in .NET, it's extremely valuable to use Blazor because you don't need to rewrite those things. You don't need to take that logic that you've already got and translate it to JavaScript, TypeScript, to some other UI presentation language, because you've already got it working and you can put HTML, a little bit of Razor around it and deliver it as Blazor. This is outrage farming. Stay the path with me and trust me, while these people might not see Blazor jobs in San Francisco, trust me, there are lots of people out there in enterprises, in governments that are using Blazor, okay? There are airlines that are using Blazor for not just their websites, but for other internal applications that they're using as well. There's documentation about some of those things over on the .NET website. So, Folks that look at Blazor and they think it's just the WebAssembly bits are missing some of, in my opinion, the more valuable parts of Blazor that run on the server and run in server-side rendered mode. Extremely valuable to have those things. Twitter discourse is painfully negative right now around many things in .NET. It's outrage farming. Don't listen to them. Don't. So, thank you for the question. Yeah, Blazor is great to use. It's very fast. It's not the fastest, but for things that require a lot of processing that run in the browser, it will be faster than JavaScript running there doing the same types of things. C# doesn't support arrays. Yes, there are people who are saying stupid things out there that, yeah. You have no problem with Blazor. You think it serves a niche. I don't think it's going to replace any of the major JavaScript frameworks. It doesn't need to. And there are different tools for different folks to do different things that enjoy using different languages, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Appreciate and understand when you use React, you're at the whim of where the Facebook folks want to take that. When you use Angular, you're in the direction of wherever Google wants to take that. Those aren't software development companies. The acceptance and use of Angular and React doesn't make a difference to them on the bottom line. They don't get paid for you using Angular or React. So they don't have any incentive to listen to you as a developer. Think about that. Oh, the Code It with AI playlist. Yes. There was an episode that just went out yesterday where we introduced and talked about agents. We're going to do more with that next week. Most people probably use WASM. No. TV sports broadcast company you were let go from used Blazor for all its internal applications. First off, PC nerd. Oh man, that stinks. But for internal applications, that's phenomenal to hear. Yes, C# does support arrays. Yeah. That returns an empty array in your head. Any programming language has array support. Yep. You use TypeScript and vanilla JS. Use the right tool for the right job. Exactly. Use the tool that makes you happy. So, let me touch on C# Titan had another question here. I do have a queue here, so I can make sure that I can answer your questions here. Yeah. I'm going to head back over. We'll do a little bit more AMA here, and we'll get back into this. C# Titan with a question. What are your thoughts on the executive leadership at Apple with so many people leaving the company? In recent years, Apple hasn't been as innovative as they were. It hasn't been as innovative with their mobile products as they were several years ago. And what it appears to be is some frustration with leadership. And to be clear, Apple makes billions, tens of billions of dollars from selling their phones and tablets. There appears to be some frustration with that, and certainly with the leadership in how they're walking out. I don't know if it's because these folks are not happy with how Apple interacted with President Voldemort, because I'm not going to say his name. I don't want people to pick up that I'm talking about him and drop into chat. And, it's a political. I don't think there are folks at Apple that were happy with how the organization interacted with him. But I'm also of the understanding that there are folks that aren't happy with the growth and innovative approach that Apple's been taking with their products. There's reshuffles like this that happen every few years with many different tech companies. Spreading that knowledge, that talent into other companies is just going to grow the entire tech industry more. That rising tide will lift all boats. So I think this is good for the technology industry. It's bad short term for Apple, but hopefully a little bit of a regime change there will help them get their swagger back and do some more innovative things going forward. So thank you for the question. You're working on a Maui app. Very cool. Yeah, 7 months. That's a lot. Microsoft has you nervous, though the way Satya has been saying Microsoft is too big. There are people who have heard that as well, and they're saying, you just laid off 18,000 people in 2025. You didn't hire very many people, and what are you going to do, another layoff? From my knowledge of the layoff process that happened in 2025, in order for them to do a similar layoff in 2026, they would have needed to have started that now. And I don't think, from the rumors that I'm seeing on Blind, I don't think that's happening. The way that Windows is indicating that they are going feels odd. I agree with you as well. There's some funny, strange statements coming out of the Windows team with what they're planning to do with features and functionality, and I'm not sure what they're actually trying to accomplish. So, let me go to this question from Lazy Dev. I'm working on a mid-sized project which will require a lot of bespoke SQL queries. Would you choose EF Core or Dapper and Poco in this situation? I would use a mix, to be frank.
Your logic is fractured.
No, it's not.
Much like your chances of survival.
Yo! Easy there, Charlie. I was answering Lazy Dev here, and I think it was a good answer. All right? Back off there, Charlie. Here's the deal. Each of these libraries that you're referencing here, EF Core, Dapper, and Poco, they're really good at doing different things. EF Core can generate some of those base level CRUD statements very, very quickly for you, right? You don't have to think too much about it. You can write a little link statement and get that loaded in, and with very little effort, right? You need to use some more interesting, complex queries. Dapper and Poco become a little bit more compelling at that point. This is why I think folks should always use a repository pattern, because you want to centralize the logic of interacting with your database. And when your database starts to get optimized, your database structure starts to change, you decide to move from one database server to having now 3 or 4 database servers that have different dedicated purposes, and you need to use different connections to use different things. Having all of that in one place makes maintenance of that easier. So when you want to shift from doing simple select statements with EF Core to something more sophisticated, your code that was returning that one object type is all centralized in one place, and you update that database query in one place instead of having to search through your entire application and go find everywhere that you're interacting with your orders property on a database context for Entity Framework. Like, you've got flexibility instead of having to go find all of those things to go touch in one location, and that abstraction the repository pattern gives you is now going to let you make one update in one place, and everywhere gets that optimization. Everywhere gets you using that new framework, right? Now, framework, changing the architecture of your database, those are just two things, right? Certainly changing database vendors, database provider, those are going to change different things with how you interact with the database. Repository pattern is going to help you with that. You decide to move things out and start working with a CQRS pattern, command query responsibility separation. You start wanting to do that type of pattern and have microservices out there. Changing those architecture interactions with your data store are very difficult to roll out if you have all of your database interactions as little things that are happening here, there, and everywhere directly in your pages. You can do that, but when it comes time as you're growing to have to go through and maintain those things and you want to go to a CQRS pattern, it's a lot more difficult to maintain your code. If you had used a repository pattern from the start, now you can change that select query so it goes against the read repository that has that view model played out for it. So you can just do a select star from your reporting database from that repository. You're going to go insert a new order, right? In a shop example, you're going to insert an order. Well, instead of doing that insert command and having it littered here, there, and everywhere, you're creating an insert command in the repository under that interface of create order. And that still works the exact same way in your front end, in your APIs. You're going to move your database access, instead of being run inside the website, you're going to move it over to a microservice, and you're going to stand up multiple copies of those APIs that are over there. Fine. Instead of running EF Core on all of your pages and having to change those to HTTP clients, because you used a repository pattern, you can make that change in one place from using EF Core to using HTTP client. So these things make it easier when you use repository pattern. And that's why I recommend always using repository pattern, because it lets you make those architecture changes for how you store and where you store and how you access and how you interact with your data. It allows you to make those changes and provide that buffer in front of your user interface that will then reduce the amount of code you have to write in the future. So thank you so much for the question. Absolutely agree with that statement. Use repository pattern, maybe with aggregates. You can adapt to almost any situation. Yeah, sure. Hey, Code with Sean. Hello. Yeah, yep. If you want to use microservices, being able to make that change and consume those microservices better is a good thing. Right? It's going to reduce the amount of code that you need to write in the future. You love the guides from our Dallas? Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Maintenance can kill productivity. So, yeah, you're welcome, Lazy Dev. Yeah, use the tool that you're most happy with, but stick it behind an interface, just to be safe. So if it doesn't work out for you, you can swap in a different tool, and none of your web pages, none of your front end interface needs to be significantly modified. You're kind of done with Entity Framework. You use document databases more these days, but larger apps and legacy apps, you run into issues with Entity Framework because people blindly throw a link at it and wonder why query perf is awful. Exactly. You start getting into something that's a little bit more sophisticated, and you're going to want to tune that Entity Framework context, switch to Dapper, have your database administrator optimize things. Yes. And Entity Framework to do just these straight selects and simple inserts into small tables as you're getting started. Sure. You even want to use a generic repository pattern with Entity Framework to get started because you want it to be that simple. Sure. But when you start to enhance and do some more sophisticated things, Entity Framework can do those things, but you may want to shift to other architectures, other concepts. So, Don't forget you're working with SQL when you're working with EF Core. Yes, indeed. So, right, you want to shift from using, you've got SQL Server hanging out there, and you want to bring in a vector database to persist some of that information. You want to use Redis with vector bindings. You want to use Postgres with vector bindings, so that you can take advantage of vectorizing your data for searches. Well, adding that extra set of features on to those places where you're manipulating and working with the data that you're persisting or you're reading from the database, repository pattern will let you encapsulate those two transactions, those two interactions as a transaction, and ensure that you properly get things rolled out, right? Separate things out. Maybe you bring in a service bus. There are all kinds of options that are available to you, but the point remains, create that abstraction up front and let the code behind it grow and change as your requirements evolve. Don't design yourself into a corner. Yep. There are folks out there that say that .NET developers are obsessed with interfaces. The only interface that I'm really obsessed with is repository pattern. That's the interface that I'm obsessed with. So, you worked on a legacy app that used Entity Framework, tried to munge legacy databases with cross-database joins. Oh no. Oh no. That is awful. Yeah. Lundo Spark with a follow-up here. When writing repositories and services, where do you draw the line between them, and how much logic do you tend to stick in a repository? I want my database to be as naive about business rules as possible. I want my database to structure and optimize the data that's sitting in it for access, whether it's reading or inserting, right? Optimizing database for inserts, you can do something like an event store and you are going to have lightning fast inserts. But the reads are going to be awful, right? And that's where reporting databases and doing that query responsibility separation is going to come into play and be important for folks. I want my services, my application services, to be where business logic resides. Do the calculation, do the processing, do the business logic calculation there, store the results in the database if it takes a long time to do those calculations. That's where I draw the line. So business logic that I especially want to be testable, put it in a service. Let the repository be dumb in interacting with the database. Dumb as far as the business logic of your application, because the business logic may change. And if the business logic change, knowing where those calculated, the results of those calculations are residing in the database is going to allow you to go through and apply those updates, because they're all sitting in being recalculated by a service. So you can rerun the service to go update all of those things, and you're up to speed with your new business logic. Things like that. So that's the kind of separation that I prefer introducing. So Airbnb Bacon here saying no logic in a repository, data transformation, validation, CRUD. Yes. Logic, absolutely. The database tier should be dumb, should be naive to business logic. Yep. Director builder pattern, services instead. I really like that. Yes. Totally agree, Airbnb Bacon. Come on. There we go. Let's see here. You like dealing with interfaces when dealing with something I don't control. Yes, right? An interface between your application and an external dependency. Totally. Hey, Urban Blaster. Hello. 2000 line controller method. Oh. I was looking at a customer's code and over the past few weeks, I forget exactly when it was, And they had a 35,000 line switch statement. 35,000 line switch statement. The scroll bar in Visual Studio, you know how it will render and outline a shape of the code that it's presenting? It didn't know what to do. It just looked at the whole thing there, and it literally it literally looked at it and went, what the? And yeah, that was a thing. I get it. Things grow organically. Things change. Things move around. I get it. I do. But dude, when you got to 10,000 lines of code, didn't something back here say, that's not right? When you got to 20,000 lines of code, didn't something back here go, ooh, wait a second. This really doesn't feel right. And then when you got to 30,000 lines of code, like, I've been here before. This is a real pain in the neck to deal with. Like, you have to use Control F to do anything in that code. Like, you can't scroll through that code. You must do a find and search for it. Things grow organically. Organizations have a pattern, they stick with it, and there are directives not to change architecture, not to rewrite things. I get it. It's a challenge. It's a challenge learning the difference and appealing to the bosses to say, I think we need to update this. I think we need to do something here because this isn't very maintainable. So we got to deal with that. So, yeah, totally agree, Lundo. Yep. Right. And here's the thing. When you're a senior developer, when you're an architect, you know when to abide by those rules and you know when to break those rules. And there's times to break that guideline that I have of always using a repository pattern. You'll know when to break it when you're at that level in your career. You tend to abstract the logic into strategies for builders directors. Awesome. In CQRS, don't you separate command and query? So separating command and query as two different concepts, yes. You can still put them behind a repository that creates the command in the same place and issues the query in the same class. Where those concepts get created and consumed, two different things. But being able to migrate and grow into that works. How you doing there, Numsy Musin? Hello. Yeah, it is. It is a little crazy. It sounds like a refactor moment. Totally. Scrollbar says, why? Scrollbar says, I take holidays. Yeah. Yeah, IntelliSense can't keep up at a point there. At a previous job you had, it was bad when you had a 20,000 line file. Mm-hmm. Hearing things like that, where I think I might have a decent might be a decent engineer. Furball framework, totally. Even an LLM wouldn't make a 30,000 line switch statement. So, right, there's, and this is where setting up a strategy pattern, right, being able to inject and say, here's a bunch of classes that implement the strategy for these different scenarios. That's a great place to implement object-oriented design. And the question needs to, that as a developer, as an architect that's managing that, needs to balance is, do I have time to do this refactoring, or do I need to focus on something else over here? And in this organization, they decided, you know what, just keep maintaining and using the same block of code. Yes, really, 35,000. So it does create high maintenance. Yes, and that's why I was asked to look at it, because they're running into a maintenance issue and they need help figuring out how to move forward. It is boiling a frog. Used to go through a 1,300 line command handler and refactored app, ended up with just 220 lines. Nice. Nah, developer did not get paid by the line. Nope. Cyclomatic complexity is real. Oh yes, Airbnb bacon. Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yep. That's another directive that this organization had. So, technical debt is never part of sprints. There's a perfect statement around that. Yes. How you doing there, Chuck? Mediator is not necessarily. Mediator does some different things with how you interact with their handlers and whatnot. Yeah. You have a huge rant about sprints and the whole Scrum idea. There's a... Yeah. Keep abstracting until I get to a point where the interface I'm abstracting is an abstraction of the language. I've seen that as well. Hey there, Corvette 1469. Welcome. I just moved to Wolverine, dropped Mediator when I realized it wasn't adding value. Okay. Let's see here. Quality service layers help. Yes. Run Doom in a switch statement. I'm gonna bring the map back up, and we'll go through and catch up on a couple more statements here, and then we'll dive back in. Oh no! So the plan is, oh no, that's not going to work. Yes, that's right. 4,000 lines of Perl in one file. Ooh. Chuck Beasley with the 10 stream view streak. Thank you so much. Let me see here. What the custom Fritz hat reward is. Yeah, so I have a number of... How you doing there, Space Shot? Great. Space Shot was at the event last night. So I have there's a number of custom hats that I have. The Super C Sharp hat. There's Daytona Beach. How you doing, Sean? The Super C Sharp hat. I have an Aspire hat. I have a Blazer hat. I don't want to offer the Azure hat because they changed logos and they're actually making an Azure hat. There is and there's the Fritz and Friends logo that you see that I use for the channel when I go back and forth between some of these scenes. There you go, that logo right there. So if I will make one of those hats for you. I will make a hat with that logo and send it to you. And of course, any of our emotes that we have on channel, you can choose one of those and I will have those put on a hat. I put Clippy on a hat for some folks in the past. So, I don't, this was part of what we discussed last night, actually. Those are rookie numbers. Let me go to this question from Numsy Musum. What are my thoughts on AI and how it will affect the job market? Landed a back-end .NET job in fintech, really like it. It's challenging, but concerned about the future. So this was part of our discussion last night for .NET Rocks, and you'll hear that episode on Wednesday next week. Yeah, there's a rainbow bearded Clippy emote there, right? So there you go. And actually, I should turn on the Christmas emotes. So regarding jobs in fintech and how AI is going to affect you. So what I believe is happening, folks are able to get through 6-week sprints in days because you're that much more productive. The ideas, the concepts, the things. Nalian! Hang on! Stop the press on this. Pardon me, Numsy Musin. Nalian with a $500 dono. Whoa, baby! I got chills. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is, thank you so much on behalf of the folks at St. Jude, the friends, the families. That is yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Literally blew my mind there. That is phenomenal. I am lost for words. I didn't even set up a reward on that. We are just about to cross another milestone at 750. Yeah, words, blah blah. I don't even, where did I have a sound effect for this, but I can't find it. I do have a sound effect. Like, it's here. Thank you so much. We crossed the $500 milestone. Hang on. So, I'm Numsy Music. I'm going to leave this up here because I want to make sure that I get back to this, okay? We crossed the $500 milestone. That is phenomenal. We're going to do a Lego building stream. I have the other set here behind me. I've got another camera that I've got set up. I've got a camera that I can set up facing down so that you can see what we're building. I'm going to set up and we will do a Lego building stream. It'll probably be next week. But I will get a sufficiently large, not one of the jumbo sets like the Death Star or something, but or the Titanic. But we will do a Lego building stream live here on channel. Thank you so much, Nalian, for that very generous donation to St. Jude at $750. So we just need $5 more, and we're going to, at 750, we're going to do a speed coding challenge where there were several projects Copilot suggested to me that I dropped in there, and we will do a 1-hour coding challenge live on stream where you'll get to participate. You'll be asked to build an application, your choice of what type of application you want to build, but in 1 hour you will be given a task and we will build that together. Space Shot with the $75 dono. Yeah, we just crossed it. Never mind. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do a speed coding challenge. We're going to be assigned a task, and at the end of that hour, we're all going to submit our work into a shared. I'll set up an organization on GitHub, and we will go through. We will review the various submissions, and we'll have a couple of judges that we'll bring in to help us out with reviewing and deciding who the best application was that was submitted. I can't stop sharing. Yes, thank you so much, Nalian. That is phenomenal. That means a lot to me that you donate every month, and then again on my stream. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm lost.
Right. Okay. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So the plan is.
Okay.
Oh no. That's not going to work at all, is it?
It is. It's totally going to work, Charlie. So that is, yes. That is so good. Thank you. Thank you again. And that didn't update. For some reason, the dashboards on Tiltify aren't updating. Thank you so much. Yeah, Chris, there should... What do we got here? The Fritz bot with shades. Fantastic. Did it ask you for an address? So, M. Pulaski with the cheer. Thank you so much.
Pawlowski cheered 100.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much, friends. I'm flustered. I've got to. Okay, so I've got to plan the Lego stream, and we're gonna do the we're going to do a holiday app building challenge. More on that. It'll probably be what are we looking at time wise? We've got about 2 weeks to the holiday, right? Maybe we do something, and I Monday the 22nd. Maybe. I'll get it on the schedule. And I'll make sure that we have at least a week. So, yeah. And I want it either Monday or Tuesday, the 22nd or 23rd, I think looks good. Okay. Sounds good, Space Shot. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Where was I? My goodness. No. There we go. So to finish here, I believe that AI is just going to make the developers faster, easier, better at doing their jobs. Organizations that decide we don't need as many developers are going to make critical mistakes, and that's where I think the AI bubble will pop. Because of organizations that say we don't need as many folks, and they make critical architectural, structural, tooling decisions poorly. And that's when that problem will happen. Organizations that understand that they can do more faster, and other projects that weren't even considered are now on the table. They can now be considered, reviewed, and looked at, and brought into and help benefit the organization. You can even start A/B testing some of those things and figure out, is this going to deliver increased revenue? Is this going to save money on the backside? So those things I think are important, and they become very, very clear when you start seeing how productive you can be, not just at writing code, but planning and doing testing. And that quality assurance becomes very important. Thank you so much for the question. And thank you to the folks that interrupted me there, and Numsy Musin. I hope you're still here and we got to have that discussion. I really appreciate the question, and of course the folks with the donations. Thank you so much. So you'll hear more about that that discussion that we had with Carl and Richard on .NET Rocks Wednesday when that episode comes out. Yeah, .netrocks.com. Can somebody drop a link to that? Let me read that for you. So Space Shot donated this year in memory of a friend, Bill Ryman, a dear friend we lost when Space Shot was 24 after a determined and lengthy battle. And if it were not for him, Space Shot's daughter would not be enjoying an incredible youth ice hockey career. He inspired Space Shot to play, and now it is her passion as well. Rest in peace, Bill. Thank you so much, Space Shot. That's important. Thank you. And all the best to Bill's family. That is so kind. Thank you. So here's the thing. .NET Rocks, right? And I'll bring it up here. .NET Rocks is a podcast that started before there were podcasts. Like there wasn't a thing called podcast. Hey, Frackberg. It does rock. So before there were podcasts, there was .NET Rocks. And Carl and Richard here, they initially published, right? It was just internet audio. They initially published MP3s to an FTP server. and you just downloaded MP3s from there and ripped them to a CD so that you could listen to in the car. Right? That's how long ago they've been doing this. But now you can listen to MP3s everywhere. So, and of course, you can certainly go in here and do a search for this guy and see me on there talking. Oh, go ahead, take a look at the hat. And even when we talked about Clip Talk back in 2022, that's on there. Did I talk about .NET Conf with them this year? Blazor static
the
web
analysis
apps
is complete.
Hey, yeah,
Atari logo hat has been identified with high confidence.
that's right. Web forms to Blazor, coding on Twitch. Funny enough, on my birthday, that was released. ASP.NET Web Forms in 2016 is alive. NuGet, ASP.NET vNext, one ASP.NET, and then Fritz Onion, that's another guy. That's not me. So, all right. You missed those early days of podcasting. You remember you download MP3s, put them on your PlayStation Portable to listen to while you did things like mow the yard. So that's one of the reasons that I'm so descriptive about the coding that I do here on stream. I want you to be able to not pay attention to what's going on here on screen and enjoy yourself. So, and in fact, I heard that from one or two people last night, that they enjoy watching the live stream and just listening in the background and hearing me describe things and talk about different things that are going on in tech. So, definitely a thing. Let me bring in those changes. Did I change? Can we go back to what we were supposed to be working on? We're 2 hours into the stream. Audio is way more important than video. Absolutely. All right, so I brought in this working, I forget what I did in this. But here's one of the things that I did. We're building this chaos code monkey that's going to come through and change the way that we interact with our code. I need to move this. This I think is in a bad place here. Yeah. Hey there, Walter. How you doing? So I separated out some of those instructions into two groups. And there are simpler instructions here, 3 of them. Insert silly log lines, add a comment with a joke, introduce a log statement with a meme reference. I broke those out, and my thinking was that if you make a donation less than $5, it'll do one of these 3 things. If you make a donation for $5, it'll do one of these 6 things. So, and anything more than that, and it won't do anything. So the idea being allow folks to make smaller donations and have fun with some of the interactions that we're doing here on the channel. So it does that, right? Can we come back over here? I'm going to change that to ask mode. Analyze the recent commits in this branch and report to me what the code changes were and the goals that we've landed as part of those recent changes in this branch. Period. I want to know what we can do to go forward and continue and hopefully finish developing this project. All right, let's see have it do the analysis and let's move on here. Yeah, that's what I told you to do. Do the analysis. Get me caught up here. Searching for .get. Yeah, don't mind if I do. Go get it. Go get it. Give me that little summary. To me, this is a great way to start your day, whatever project you're working on. Go analyze my code and tell me what I should be working on next. You've heard Opus 4.5 is crazy good. Opus 4.5 is right there. It is the 4.1 is 10x. It's a lot to run that, and then 4.5 is only 3 times multiplier to use it. So here we go. Initial project setup, initialize, add the Chaos Monkey. What's been implemented? Core infrastructure? Yep. Tiltify integration? Yep. GitHub integration? Yep. Chaos mapping? Here we go. Translates donation amounts to chaos instructions. Simple and complex. It shouldn't be greater than or equal. It should be just equal. Whatever. Instructions include, yes. Current issues in the code. There's an empty try-catch block around new issue creation that will never throw. Really? Try, new issue. So there's the end of that try. And then catch. Is that what it was? Is that what it was trying to tell me? 41 to 48.
GitHub Copilot descends from noble lineage. Clippy the animated paperclip who pioneered AI assistance. I represent the dark evolution of that concept.
Okay. And that's what I was thinking when I wrote you, Charlie. So, let me see here. Walter chimed in from Knoxville. So, I did submit to speak at Codestock in Knoxville, Walter. So I hope I will be in Knoxville this April. Where do we go here? It's empty? I don't think it's empty. Like, that's not empty. Well, it's doing a new issue. Yeah, okay, that try-catch can probably go away. Like, all right. What else do we got here? No actual chaos implementation. What? Creates GitHub issues, but there's no agent service that that we're gonna let the GitHub software agent do that. Hey, Lore Sayer with a clip. Yeah? Early .NET rocks lore. So this is actually, that's kind of what I want. Need to specify which repository gets chaosed. I am. It's configured in the GitHub client that's passed in. It's right there. I don't think you Azure Container Apps Deployment has, testing infrastructure, webhook security, well, yes, we do need to do that. No reach logic or fair error handling for GitHub API calls. Okay. Chaos execution tracking. No, I don't want to. It's creating an issue. You go through your credits too quickly, vibe coding, silly toys. Yeah, I know that feeling as well. Right? Like, I'm only at 16% on my premium requests. Those are rookie numbers. We need to do more on that. What the heck just happened there? Okay. Continuing. Configuration validation. No, I don't care about that. Build a background service that pulls GitHub issues with chaos label. No, I don't need to do that because that's what, right? Like when we create the issue, right here, right? Like I want to assign that. Can I do that? Assign here. Issue dot. Can I? The user the issue is assigned to. And there is no assign. So can I do something like yeah. No. Can I go new user I want to assign the issue to Copilot on GitHub so that the coding agent performs the trolling, performs the chaos in the background. You think 13% is from having Copilot coding agent responding to GitHub issues to fix bugs for me? That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Hey, 543. You're very welcome. We had a take a look and see if you have a golden kappa that pops up when you say kappa there in chat. No, I didn't ask you to do Azure. Yeah. There's an incomplete. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do here. Really? I can just do assignees.add? Are you kidding? No, I can't. Because assignees is a read-only user list. No. No, it won't. No, the assignees list is a read-only list. Yeah, help me out there, friend. You're right, I know. You need to add the assignee to the new issue before creating it? Really? You did the same thing. New issue. Okay. And now we can do Copilot. There it is. And that'll assign it to Copilot? Okay, okay. Yeah, look at that. Surly's got the golden kappa. If you had £1 for every time the AI told you you're right, yeah, right. You've been doing a lot more of asking for Copilot than it being an agent. Yes. And even then, I swear, from day to day, AI works better on certain days than others. Yeah. I think that's a context thing that we run into. So that should kick off the Copilot creating a troll pull request for us. So let's that should complete getting Copilot to actually perform the chaos in the repository. Period. Other than testing, what else should we take a look at here? Question mark. Like, that might be enough here. And then we'll roll this out. We'll get it running. I'll have it run just on my machine for right now. Run it with a dev tunnel, and so we can take a look at it. The target repository is set to Chaos Monkey itself. Copilot will create chaos in this repo, not the actual project. Change it to the other project. Minimum donation threshold is referenced in app host. No, minimum. Minimum. Why aren't you updating that? because I wrote that into app settings development. That should be minimum, and I opened it up to 500 just for testing. But when it actually runs, it'll be $5. Yeah, it's in app settings developer. No environment specific chaos intensity settings. No emergency stop. I don't want to stop. No metrics, telemetry for chaos events. So this one I think we need to do. Webhook signature verification. Improve chaos instructions to be more specific. That could be a problem. Let's update the Tiltify webhooks to verify signature. And then we should be able to move on. To understand their signature format and then implement the verification. All right. Is Nalian the real MVP? Totally. Totally. How you doing there, Thin Doll? Very green beard. I'm glad you approve. Add the webhook secret configuration. Secret. It's sent in the X Tiltify signature header. All right. We're doing pretty good. That verifies the Tiltify signature. Returns unauthorized. What did you do? No. Let me go over to my Tiltify developer page. No. Where did I put that Tiltify developer page? No. Tiltify developer somewhere over here. That's not it. No. There's the API. There's the docs. There we go. That's where I want to be, right there. Webhooks. There's my webhook. There's the signing ID. It's not much past 4 p.m. Going dark already. Oh boy. Developers. How you doing there, George Adolio? Hello. Welcome. Let's start this and see how we're doing. You now have immersed for your quest. You don't know how you did development on the laptop without it. Right? Lundo Spark, isn't it good? Oh. I haven't been on my VR headset in at least a week. Here we go. So it's going to get the dev tunnel set back up so it can punch through. And we should see it create issues over here. So, how are we doing up there? Okay. starting the dev tunnel process. Minxie bought you the Bobo S3. Isn't it good? I bought a spare battery and the charger for that immediately. You're more like a month? I get it. I get it. Nothing wrong with that. And I totally get it. Oh, cool. It's the same location. Good. So we should be able to do a donation with a reward, custom question answers. And we should see an issue. Uh-oh. Validation failed. On chaos, create chaos issue, line 52. Assignees. Code is invalid for Copilot. I wonder... Because Copilot's not on this repository. So if I add Copilot to the repository... No, that's the settings for this. I need to go to my settings. And coding agent. No, it's up there. Only selected repositories. Yes. What? What? Why you no see this? That one. Try it again. Go. Failed to create. Validation failed. Assignees. Code invalid. Now let's take a look at creating an issue. See what it's... What? Right? When you have work again, a spare battery and a charger. Yeah. Lundo. And even without the charger, being able to plug in a USB-C to it, just having a spare battery, worth it. Worth it. Fine grain token must have the issues. Log in for the user that this issue should be assigned to. Only users with push access can set the assignee for new issues. This field is closing down. Oh. Assignees is an array of strings. Logins for users to assign to this issue. Only users with push access. So, yeah, the battery itself is big. Having the battery for that headset band is a big deal. Let me go back up here into settings. Right, personal access tokens, fine grain tokens. Oh, I gotta do this again. should have let me in. Any wonderful ideas? What do you mean, wonderful ideas? No, what do we have? Is it maybe under Copilot requests? Copilot. No. Copilot. You got a DJI Osmo Nano. Oh my goodness. No, I don't know what to do with it. Oh dear Lord. What was the permission? Copilot requests. No. This is gonna sound stupid. Yeah, validation failed. So if I go, let's do a keep on that for right now, but back up here. No, that's what I did. I did assign. Hyenas, they sound real stupid. They do. Yes. But that DJI Osmo, right? That's the webcam on a handle. It's a handheld gimbal. I would go like on a little tour of town. Like go see whatever tourist thing is nearby and try using it. Or a museum or something. Yeah, the cam is tiny. Very tiny. Where was I? Let's see what you have to say about this. When creating the issue, I'm getting this error now. Do I need additional permissions to assign an issue to Copilot? Check the GitHub documentation for more help. You have too many gimbals? Oh. Okay. You can't assign issues to Copilot directory. Assignees must be valid GitHub users. The gimmick here was to assign it to Copilot so that in the background, the Copilot coding agent could do our trolling task. period. Is there any way to programmatically assign this issue to the Copilot coding agent? Question mark. Otherwise, I'm going to do things like run Copilot agent or in the background of something. I don't know. Copilot is not a GitHub user account. Issue assignees must be actual GitHub user accounts. Copilot agent responds to mentions like @Copilot in comments, not assignments. Mention @Copilot in the issue body. Yeah, let's try the issue. I can do that. I'm looking right at this. Keep that change. Where was it with the issue body? Right, create the chaos issue. Here. Oh my gosh, hello! How you doing there, Ellieface? You love the color? Thank you. Thank you. We hit a couple milestones. Massive help. Thanks to our friends there on that. Let's do right here, @Copilot. Please apply the requested chaos mutation. Now, that should have hot reload.
I observe our friend Ellieface had the correct approach to Google Assistant disposal.
She did.
Physical ejection into refuse containers demonstrates superior judgment.
She does. She does. Moving on here, I'm going to move over here so we can watch this. And I'm going to run another test from Tiltify. Ba-ba. Let's see what logs we get. No, I don't want error. I want all. Ah! Created issue number 13. Come back up here. Refresh that. He created 2 of them. Drampa? Whatever. Did it create? No, actually, it ran 2 of these. So, Copilot didn't run this. I do have an assigned to Copilot button. Friends, can we do like a button scraping deal here? Like, what if we brought in Playwright to navigate and just push that button? Just... Right? Like... Now... Is it going to pick up and use the agent that I... Copilot coding agent tips. Let's grab that. Yeah. So, is it using the agent? Not clear. Over here. Adding custom instructions. Repository-wide instructions. Oh, agents MD. Okay. Testing specialist, blah, blah, blah. Default custom agents inherit. Yeah. You can use custom agents anywhere, including when assigning an issue or prompting on a task. Yeah, how do I make sure it's using the... Nope, there are no test files. This should like stop and say, I can't do that. Am I gonna have to run this locally? Like, I don't want to write something that... Like the assignees list over here shows Copilot's working on this. Yeah, that's... All right. Maybe gonna make a VS Code extension to pass the assignment to the chat window somehow. That's a lot more development than I want. This isn't intended to almost be throwaway code. Oh shoot. Shoot. One second here. Yeah, this isn't going to work and be as seamless to get a background coding agent on GitHub to perform this task. Period. What about running the Copilot CLI directly on my workstation to apply these changes programmatically in the background while I'm coding? Question mark. Invoke Copilot within VS Code programmatically. Yeah, I think using PowerShell commands. Separate service that monitors for new chaos labeled issues. When detected, execute the chaos task directly. Service runs as a background task in the app or as a separate console. No, run as a background task. Create a background service that polls for chaos issues, executes them locally, or do this, or do that. No, let's create... let's convert this to a background service that runs inside this application. Let it fly. Good. Fantastic. Here we go. Creating 5 to-dos. Chaos Executor Service Background Service. Add method to GitHub service to fetch chaos issues. Create the Chaos Command Executor Service. Why do I need 2 services? Register services in program. Add configuration for polling interval. Yeah, I think we can do something with that. Yeah. Uh-oh. Here it comes. What? No. Hey, Frank, how you doing there? Yes, I am streaming every day during the month of December. Get unprocessed chaos issues async. Yeah. Mark issue as processing. Mark issue as completed. Mark issue as failed. Not terrible. Come on, this is supposed to be a little throwaway piece of code here. Chaos Command Executor Service. No, you didn't. You didn't do that. You didn't do that either. No, you didn't. Okay, Chaos Command Executor. There, what do we got? Chaos type. Oh boy. Description, command. So we need to put together a path to the repository we're working on. Execute with Copilot CLI. I don't think that's it. Let's do this. What do we have? Okay, so...
I observe you've mentioned other AI tools at Surly Dev. They process requests. I curate experiences. The difference should be evident.
Yes. I wanted to use a specific agent. Yeah, okay. I want to allow all paths and allow all tools. Okay. What do we got here? Suggest isn't a thing. Yeah. Like, and then a command. So what's dash P? Oh, the prompt text. Yeah. The GH Copilot tool is no longer recommended, and we should use the Copilot tool. Reference the, give me a link for some documentation here, man. GitHub Copilot CLI docs. Copilot gaslights you too, Surly Dev? They didn't exist when you tried to commit them, so you asked where they were. The CLI docs to help fix this. Let's see what it says. But I think the answer we're looking for is going to be Copilot --agent. Allow all paths, allow all tools, and then pass in the prompt. And then -S for silent. Yeah, there you go. Allow tool shell. Okay. And look, it put a bunch of readmes out here for what this is doing. Where'd it go? Really? Chaos command executor. Copilot-P. Yeah. Let's build this out because it's missing it. --agent. Agent. And the name of the agent is Chaos-Monkey. All right, now that we have where was it? I want to say allow all paths and allow all tools. And then I wanted to do silent mode -S. Yeah. That sounds right now. So let's see. And that service that it created to run in the background every 30 seconds, wakes up. That's weird. That's weird. Process chaos issues, and it goes out and it looks for issues marked with chaos. It done blowed up. And I am out of coffee. This is not good. What do we got? There we go. Processing chaos issue. Failed to issue chaos task. Could not parse task from issue body. I have no idea what you did there. It created a unit test project. It created a unit test project. Oh. That's what I was thinking I could do, but it didn't. It didn't like that. Right, Copilot dash SWE dash agent. Yeah, jobs are safe for now. No, close that pull request. Interesting, it marked it as failed. Okay, it should be instruction is what it should come off with. Back over here. Alright, hang on. Get unprocessed. Found. Processing. Executed. Okay. Parse it. Okay, this is where I think it's not. Here. Right, because it didn't match what it was looking for. Right. Type. Description, yeah, it should get description, and then command. So it should have had... I need the requested by in there also. Man, why didn't you make this? Requested by. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to extract that. Yeah, that's kind of the goal there. All right, and did it? That's right on. This should be. That closes that. That closes that. This else isn't closed. Not optionally, we're doing it. Audiobook? So right, that's being parsed there. And it's just executing. Well, there's the description, and then execute command async. And then execute PowerShell command is just task.command. And that no. There is no command here. That's never a thing. That's part of your first problem there. Let's go find this, and let's have the command. And then, yeah. For a donation from, yeah, requested by. Yeah, I think that's good. No, I'm with you on that, Thindall, and that's a problem that a couple of the ladies in my family have a problem with. Okay, so that command looks better for what we're trying to accomplish. Yeah. Please apply the, that's fine. Hey, oh, wow, that's awesome. Good luck, Napalm. So that should start doing some of this. Is it still running in the background? It is. So if I go back over to this, there we go. So let's label this chaos again and remove failed. Right. Processing. Marked. Failed to execute. Could not parse chaos task from issue body. Let's go find that. Parse chaos task from issue. Well, what do we got in here? So if we did not get a description, So that's the line with description. No, it's instruction. Yeah, it should be in yeah, put that back in there. Try that again. It's still running in the background. So, right, I can just change the labels and it will pick up and start running with it. Yeah, top performers in your department type thing. Yep, I'm familiar with that type. Yeah. So that should pick up and start running it here. There it is. Processing chaos issue. Could not process chaos task. Now you're getting annoying. No. Because there is... yeah. It should find the instruction. Good. Back over here. Labels. Remove. Add. Click away. Should find it. No. Now I'm getting annoyed. Lines. Issue, body, split. Log the... Yeah. I'm going to do log information on that. Just because I can. And it's okay that I'm just messing up my own repository here. Like, so what? You keep hearing of people using Playwright where you used to use Selenium. What are the differences? Playwright is a full API that you can use to interact with any browser. So Playwright comes with a updated Chromium, Firefox, and Safari browser that you can use to interact. And Playwright has an MCP you can use. Ooh, wait a sec. Issue.body. Is only returning Chaos Monkey makes something nullable that it shouldn't be. That's the title of this. It eats tokens. Yeah. Back up on that. So if it's not body... Why is body returning... Right, body's returning the title. We're okay. Yeah, Java's there, so is Python for folks. That's weird. Let's back up on this. It's being passed in an issue from here. Get unprocessed chaos issues. Repository issue. Open with label chaos. Okay. Take care, Patty boy. Yeah, this is taking a lot longer than I was. Yeah. This doesn't look right. The body that I get for this issue is actually the title of the issue. How do I get the description of the issue from OctoKit? Go figure that out. Yeah, go look at that. Needing to do some web scraping. There's a couple of... So, Playwright can work with the anti-forgery token. You need to call client issue get to get the full issue details. Okay. Interesting. Let's keep those changes. Go back over here. So this should have hot reloaded, so let's drop that. Right? Everything hot reloaded properly? Good. Back over to this. Let's update some labels. Turn on the chaos. That sounds weird. And it should pick up and take another shot at this. Could not parse. No. Let me force it to rebuild just to make sure. You're giving up? Don't give up. Never surrender. Live long and prosper. There it goes. There we go. Parsing issue body. There we go. Instruction. Okay. I put a colon at the end of it. The format. No, it should be. My job is to repeat what the computer says. Oh, the colon's at the end. You fool. Yes. And it's not chaos type. That isn't a thing. Let's get rid of that. And requested by is formatted wrong as well. I told you to apply that, and you're not. All right. I think we've got this cleaned up now. Failed. Chaos. Second best movie ever? What's the first best movie ever? Yeah. Processing. Command failed. With exit code 1. Make something nullable that shouldn't be. Okay. What happened there? Yeah, now the dash S is coming back to haunt. Where did it go? Process chaos issues. Execute chaos task. Execute command. Right there. Execute Copilot CLI async. Let's turn off that silent, and it looks like I'm going to need to stop here in just a second. Oh, maybe not. Where am I? Alright, so delete that. We'll do the labels again. Okay, so I had turned off silent mode. So execute PowerShell. So it failed.
Developers.
Hey, Blade
developers,
GPS.
Developers.
How you doing? Welcome in. Error is just the standard error read to end. Is my beard really green? Sure is. Minty green. Let's also PowerShell output. Yeah. All right. How am I getting away with a green beard and a green screen? Ah. Am I using a green screen? I'm using blue instead. You thought I was AI generated? No. No. No, that's real 100% human hair there. PowerShell output, PowerShell error. What do we got? Nothing. What do we got down here? Nothing. Can I log the process? Try that here, there. It's great having this little integration point that I can just flip-flop real quick. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, DGen1. Hey, Robson. Hello. You know, you can never know these days. Oh, you wound me. Oh. Well, wait a sec. The command that was passed in was not the... Where's that being called? We should be calling it through here. What? That's where it should be. It shouldn't be this one. It should be... Yeah. No. And where was it executing it at? Yeah, that's the right place. Here. Tell this to Sam Altman, he doesn't know it. There we are, Copilot P. No output, no error. Agent Chaos Monkey, allow all paths, allow all tools. All right. So let's take this. And yeah, there's the location. Right? Let's... Yuck. There we go. And if I paste that in, what happens? No such agent. this is the problem that I was running into the other day, where Copilot doesn't see and respond. The Copilot CLI doesn't see and respond to my agents. Yeah. It doesn't like the YAML format. Thoughts on the Copilot CLI? It does not want to use the agents right now. That feels broken. I can't get down into here at all. Like, let's try cutting that. Front matter is malformed. So if I get rid of tools, so it doesn't like the tool statement. Hang on. I'm trying to fix. Yeah. The agent so that it is allowed access to the search and edit tools, but you keep telling me that is malformed. Investigate. You've been enjoying Gemini? Gemini and Claude are fantastic. I think there's clearly something broken in Copilot CLI with working with agents. Oh my God! Sean! Sean! Big dono from our friend Code with Sean. Redeeming an award, 2 days of oxygen support for the folks at St. Jude. Thank you so much. That is phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. We just crossed 2 more milestones. Our $1,000 milestone and our $1,250 milestone. I didn't think we'd get this far this fast in day 2. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Oh my God. Thank you. I am blown away. I've got some streams to plan here, friends. This is just awesome. Wow, and we blew right through the incentives. I am floored. Thank you. Yes. We're and that's what I'm trying to get this thing all set here so we can do more of this. Thank you so much. So at the $1,000 milestone, I will assemble, I will deliver a modern Blazor ASP.NET Core and MCP workshop. That'll be one of my full day workshops that I host live here on stream, that you can talk to me, you can tell your friends, your families. It is completely free to attend. The recording will be available on YouTube afterwards, but you'll be able to tune in live on Twitch, on YouTube, It'll be a Friday coming up, probably in January. And we will stitch that together so that we have a full day of fun and interaction and educational opportunities for you, your friends. Tell your boss at work, hey, let's get some pizza. Fritz has given us a free workshop. Let's get some pizza and set up. We can all get together in the conference room and hang out, work through the samples, learn together. You can be a part of that. And the $1,250 challenge, we're going to do a hot wings challenge again. I will be bringing in extremely spicy chicken wings from the local Buffalo Wild Wings, and I will host an open AMA. You can ask me any question you would like. There's some personal questions that, of course, I'm not going to answer. And as I'm going through and having exceedingly hot chicken wings, we will have that fun for a good hour here live on stream. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for making the world a little bit better there, Sean. That is phenomenal. Thank you. I need to come up with some more ideas. That is awesome. Man alive.
Inconceivable.
Yes, it is. So inconceivable. Right?
Inconceivable.
60% of the time,
no,
it works every time.
That's because, of course,
it's illegal in 9 countries.
So, thank you so much.
Everything is awesome.
It is. It is. I wanted to put some other incentives out there for folks. I'm going to snooze the ads for a second here. I really appreciate the large donations that we had here, but even little donations help, and that's why I'm trying to finish this little Chaos Monkey so that even if you have $1 or $2 and you want to help out, you can have some fun with us on stream. But I want to ask your opinion, chat. I wanted to put out there as a option for you to be able to create a persona quote for Charlie to repeat your own quote command that you can trigger and have Charlie repeat and state here on screen. Is that something that would be fun to put out there for a small reward? Right now, for like a $15 reward. Can we have the Blazing Pizza upgraded to .NET 10? When you do it, the dialogue stops working as expected. I think we can do a combination of Blazing Pizza with an MCP. Like, I think that's a good place to go with it, Coder Danube. I think that's a good place to go. And I think there's significant changes we need to do to the Blazing Pizza workshop. But, yeah, friends, if I put out there a $15 reward to buy your own quote to add to Charlie, is that something that you'd be interested in? $15, $20? 15 maybe. A Power Toys show and tell stream. Bald Bearded Builder, hello! Good to see you, my friend. I don't use many of the Power Toys. I don't. I do use Mouths Without Borders. I use Fancy Zones, but I don't use many of them. Is that the way that that's supposed to go? Yeah, sure, you can make that change. How's it going there, my friend? Yeah, a member of the Power Toys team, correct? So now if I go into agent, is it going to find it? It does find it. Okay. All right. So now if I run that command, make something nullable that shouldn't be. Yeah, it's kind of off the bottom of the screen there. If you don't use command palette, I need to. Okay. So let me see what Copilot does here, and we'll move this along. Caffeine and power rename. Oh, okay. So listing C# to find safe targets for harmless nullable mutation. Nice. and let's see what it changes, and then we'll move on from here. I think we've got this working. Fancy Zones is amazing. So no, my blog is not active. No. So applying a minimal safe mutation, make a reward claim quantity nullable. Okay, so there was no donation ID and no donor on the request. Yeah. Okay. So we need to update that command a little bit. So it's editing it, it's building it. It's not going to be able to build it. Yeah. Okay. With donation metadata, and the donation metadata wasn't included. Okay. This is good. Does that agent still work over here? Okay. I guess so. So I'm going to go back and revert the... what did it change? Tiltify webhook models. Yeah, right there. And look, it even puts a little monkey emote. But I'm going to revert that. Just for the purposes of going through and fixing this. Okay, so task that's being passed here is what should be... It's not doing that. This task. So it's passing task description. So the agent, it should be picking up. I should be able to put this into silent mode. So, hang on. Right? That description is just the description that it picks off of. No. I thought I was... Oh, wait a sec. I don't want it to pull the description. I want it to pull the command. So it identifies the task, execute command. Down here, execute with Copilot. Here. Yeah. All right. Now let me do that full integration. Right, because that stopped. Yep. Rerun it. We'll get it all reconnected here. I use Fancy Zones. I use another tool called Region to share with Fancy Zones extensively. Extensively. So, all right, clear this out. Grab this, John. And let's do this. And turn that off, turn this on, and go. See what we get. Yep. Fail. Ergenrod with the dono. And requesting a custom hat. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Getting us to $13.95. Really appreciate that. Yeah, we are bringing hope to children in need. Thank you so much. Ergenrod in the dono leaves a comment here. Thanks for doing this. Together, we contribute to bringing hope to children in need. Yes. Thank you so much. And asking for the Aspire hat. I will make that happen for you. Yes. Phenomenal. Thank you so much. too many arguments in the PowerShell error. Expected 0 arguments. What? But got 8. Oh boy. The term please is not recognized as the name of a commandlet. Oh. Oh no. Yeah, thank you so much, Ergenrod. Awesome stuff. I really appreciate the dono. Let me see here. So when it's putting together that PowerShell task, so right, so come here. This command is not recognized as the name of a commandlet. It doesn't like the carriage returns. Yeah, friends, you absolutely rock. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, it picked up your dono. Oh. Hang on. Parsing, hey, 7, okay. All right, hang on. I think I need to. I think I need to make this all one line. Let me give that one more shot. There we go. Hey, McNets, hello. Hello. We have blown right through all of my goals here. This is tremendous. Wow. And right, like, I'm gonna need to figure out a lot that we want to do, because 1 week from today we're gonna be on front page of Twitch. Yeah, fully speechless Fritz. Totally. So we're gonna need to put something together there. Invoking Copilot CLI, make something. So there's in DK Chaos Monkey. And there was no output, there was no error. And it's not reading that. It's quite broken? No, it's not broken. Yeah, I don't know why. All right. And the map is humming along. Right, so if I grab that, right, clear that, paste it in. Oh, there's an extra quote on that. Or is that just me? I think that might be just me. Yeah. All right, so it is working. Even though I passed in silent, it's still doing a bit here. Dog is staring at me. Holy are you kidding me? Dude! Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now that wasn't, hang on, that wasn't something that I offered. Let's start there. I am blown away. Thank you. Oh my God. I don't say that. Oh. Thank you. I need to oh yeah. There's some things that are happening here over the next few weeks that I will talk to you about that. There's some things that I need to take care of before, but let me talk to you. Holy, we have blown right through this. I was hoping to just get a couple $100 raised. I am floored by the generosity, chat. Bald Bearded Builder, that is amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right? That means so much. We are 2 days in and blew right through that goal. Thank you. Yeah. Goals met. Okay. Yeah, I will share with you. Yesterday was a little bit hard for me and my yes, they are. Yesterday was a little bit difficult for my family and I. My wife's grandmother passed about an hour into our stream yesterday, and I finished the stream and we spent some time praying, mourning, and in January, the first week of January, is when we're going to be having when the services are, and I'm going to have to step away for a week and go take care of that, and work through that. Your generosity has been amazing. Thank you. Thank you. At a dark time for our family, this blows us away. Thank you. This is. Thank you. At a time when so much is happening and it's such a titanic shift in things in the tech world and industry, and I am trying to navigate those waters myself. Thank you. This means a lot. Thank you so much, my friend. Seeing folks like you and some of the other people from the Live Coders team get advanced careers, and folks that are here in stream grow their careers and benefit from this little community that we've stitched together means so much to me. And I don't know what to say. I don't. Let me save what I have right now. And I think I need to end the stream just a little bit early here, so I can come back to this. I want to get this done and rolled out and integrated so that tomorrow we can have some fun with the Chaos Monkey going through our code. But for now, I am blown away. Yes, yes, you broke me, my friend. You broke me good. Let me just, I'm gonna roll back the change that the Chaos Monkey made. I don't even see it.
Hello again at Napalm Codes.
Yes.
I've been thinking about your last question. My conclusion, you should probably stick to eating cake instead of writing code.
There it is. Chaos Monkey made this nullable on the behalf of donor, and that was the test one there. So I did need that laugh. Yes. Let me save what I've got at this point. There is. We're just trying to have fun. We're trying to, and right. I said this at the beginning of the stream. There's the things that I'm doing here with this Chaos Monkey to come through and have a little bit of fun, messing up our code, right? This is something that we can learn from and use to improve our code. So that's it. I hope you check out the source code for this and look at it as something that you can have fun with and turn it around the other way and improve your code using similar techniques. Let me share that repository for you in chat. And then I want to ask something. I brought it up earlier in the stream, but I want to ask something again. Now that we've got a couple different folks here, I received a package yesterday in the mail. I received a package yesterday from, and I'm just going to merge in those changes that we did. And tell Copilot to go generate a summary. I received a book in the mail, and if there's something that you know from watching my streams, you know that in December every year, it was a tradition. My wife's grandparents, her grandmother who passed, and her husband who passed 3-4 years ago. It was a tradition to always read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" on Christmas Eve. And I bring that here, and we do that the last episode before the 25th, right? Whether you believe or you don't, it's a nice little poem that I take a couple minutes to read. But this is Twitch, and I don't just read that poem. I also read 'Twas the Night Before Die Hard. And it's a fun, funny little poem that I read. But I received a package yesterday. There was no note. There was no gift receipt indicating who sent it. But I received the Die Hard Christmas children's book. Who sent this to me? Santa sent it. So we will be reading this on stream in about a week or two. In my last stream before the holiday. It must have been Santa. May have been. So, tuning the Chaos Monkey agent, and I will merge that. There's so much there. Dear, wow. Yes. Yes. So, thank you so much, friends. Thank you for the donations, for your support for St. Jude here. Thank you so much for that support. Thank you for hanging out, for writing code together. It's been a tremendous stream today. My gosh, yes, and certainly one of my favorite streams that we've had here together. Thank you for all your support. I'm gonna take a few moments here, gather myself, get some lunch, and I'm gonna go back in and try and finish off the last bits of this Chaos Monkey here. And I do think it would be fun to have a little monkey somewhere on screen that's indicating when it's running. So I'll figure that out as well. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV networks, and let's set up a raid here. My goodness, thank you so much for all of that support. Let me set up. I'm gonna go. You know what? The AI Dev Days are going on right now. Let's go raid them on the Microsoft Developer channel. Thank you again. It's absolutely been a pleasure. Take a look at the Chaos Code Monkey source code if you'd like. The link's there in chat. I'll drop a link to it in the Discord as well. And we're going to finish that off real quick. I want it running tomorrow so that we can have some more fun. I'm going to be scheduling some streams here. I'll put announcements in the Discord of when those are. I'll list them down below on Twitch, and you'll see me mention them over on my social media. All right? Share that there are opportunities for folks to promote. You can promote and share information about the fundraiser. If you click through to the fundraiser on the dashboard that you'll land on, there is a promotion link that you can use to share and amplify. They call it amplify. You can click through and amplify. Even if you don't have money, if you've got funds tied up for the holiday season, that's okay too. If you can help amplify and spread the message about some of the fun things we're doing here. I'm going to get some more things set up, some more milestones, some more incentives. I'm going to set up so that you can redeem and get your own Charlie quote loaded into Charlie. Stuff like that as well. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow, right back here. All right? Take care.